Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I would do something fun today and participate in the homeschool show and tell that is hosted by Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldock Way. And yeah, it just looked like something fun to do, and I would love to put out some more videos, and I have been struggling with doing that. So I'm gonna let this video kick off kind of what I hope to become more of a habit of putting out some videos for you guys. So let's start with the first question. Coffee or tea? So I can't choose one. Actually, I'd have to say tea. If I'm going to be healthy, I drink tea, because otherwise if I drink coffee, I make it kind of like dessert. It has so much sugar and milk. I don't usually use creamer, but it's way too sweet. It's really not healthy when I drink coffee. So tea, I do love tea. It's one of my favorite things to drink. Actually, I don't drink a lot of other things besides water and tea. Maybe the occasional soda or something if we go out to eat, but that's hardly ever anymore. All right, the second one, early bird or night owl? I would have to say early bird, or maybe somewhere in between, because lately I do a lot more sleeping in, but naturally I tend to be someone who gets up and gets going in the morning. I have more ideas in the morning. I have more energy and I guess more inspiration, and I feel like getting things done in the morning, whereas at night and in the evening I'm just tired and I just want to curl up somewhere comfortable and read a book and go to sleep. So I am not a night person, definitely not a night person. The next one is paper planner or, well, the next one is paper planning or digital planning. I am definitely a paper planner girl. If you don't know, I actually design planners, homeschool planners, and I sell them through my Etsy shop. So I am completely a paper planner girl. I love planning on paper. I could talk more about planning, but that would have to be another video for another day. Plan ahead or plan from behind? I do a mixture of both. I do kind of a bulk plan ahead for each year where I can get all of our curriculum set up, everything figured out that we're going to do for each of my kids, but then I don't necessarily write daily what we're going to do. If you've ever seen my planners that I created, I made a tracking system. So instead of writing down daily what we do, I will kind of do a broad overview of what we're going to go through for the year, and then as we go along I'll just check off what we've done in the trackers in my planner. So doing it that way, I feel like, gives me the ability to know that things are getting accomplished, and I can, when I'm feeling down maybe that it feels like we're not getting things done, I can look and I can actually see, oh yes we are, look at all of this that we've accomplished. So so that's what I do. I'm kind of a mixture, I guess. Okay, the next one is one homeschool method or eclectic. I definitely lean towards Charlotte Mason. However, I do pull in a few other things, so I guess that makes me eclectic, but I do heavily lean towards Charlotte Mason philosophy in our homeschool. And okay, homeschool hoarder or minimalist? I'm probably more of a hoarder. I love books. So it's not necessarily that I hoard curriculum, but books. I don't like getting rid of my books, because the books that I get are, I make sure that they're meaningful, that we're going to be using those books in the future. We tend to stick to one curriculum that I use, and I will gather those books up as I come across them. Once I buy the books, I like to keep the books. I don't like to let them go. Now, if it's kind of like a curriculum that I have no plans of using again, I'll let that go. But when it comes to books that we read through, history books, science books, any living books, kind of in keeping with the Charlotte Mason method, I like to hold on to those. Crayons or markers? Definitely markers. We still have crayons in our homeschool, but my kids don't even reach for them anymore, hardly ever. So maybe once in a while my 7-year-old will grab a crayon, but we are a marker family. My kids love using markers. I use markers still. I have my own little set of Tombow brush pens that are something special that I like to use even in my planners and journals and whatnot. So my kids are the same way. They love markers. They will draw with the markers all day long, and I'm always having to stock up on new markers because we go through them. Whereas crayons, we have some of the same crayons from probably like 7 years ago that are in our little crayon stash. So one of these days I'm probably just gonna get rid of the crayons. Or maybe, I don't know, part of me thinks that we should save them to do some kind of project with, like melt the crayons all together to make a colorful something or other. Yeah, we're kind of creative around our house, so doing things like that is fun. Maybe that's what we'll do with our crayons, because we really don't use our crayons. All right, the next one is whiteboard or chalkboard. I love the look of chalkboards, but we use whiteboards. I can't stand the sound of chalk on a chalkboard, and it's just, I don't know, it's not for us. It's not as easy to write on. I don't know. It's messier. It gets that like chalk powder everywhere, unless you're talking about like chalk markers. That's a little different. Those kind of chalk style markers you can use on like a bistro board kind of thing. Those are cool, but that's almost more like using a whiteboard. So definitely whiteboard for us. We use whiteboards all the time. My kids will run off with we have like the personal size, they're like, I don't know, this big little personal size whiteboards, and they'll get some markers and they'll run off with them and draw for hours and come up with like some kind of whole scene, like they're making a movie on it, and they change parts. And yeah, we use those little personal size whiteboards every day, all the time. The next one is games or puzzles. I think I would have to go with games because puzzles are messy. Puzzles lose pieces. So we always have kind of this, I don't know, I have this thought that, you know, when we use a puzzle, let's put it together and then let's take it apart and put it away. However, my husband grew up with puzzles where he would put them together and then like glue them onto a piece of cardboard and put it up on the wall somewhere and keep it. And that is not my style. So I don't know. My husband and I have different ideas on puzzles. And honestly, the kids, they like puzzles, but they don't get into puzzles as much as games because puzzles take a long time. The ones with lots of pieces anyway. So when my kids were younger, we kept more puzzles around because they had the larger pieces and they could put it together in just a short amount of time and then pick it up and put it away. But now that they're all a bit older, my youngest is 7, so I think we have one puzzle that he wanted to keep. We were gonna actually let go of it at a yard sale just recently, but he said maybe we should keep this one, so I let him keep it. And yeah, I think that's the only puzzle we have right now. Besides we do have like an old Melissa and Doug wooden puzzle that has like the states of the United States. We still use that one. So yeah, we're really more of games. If we're going to be doing something fun like that, we pull out the games. We have card games, we have like Clue, we used to have Battleship, but we lost the pieces. Anything with small pieces tends to get lost at our house, so games are better, and games with not so many pieces. However, we do use Bananagrams. That's one of our favorite games that we use all the time. And what else? We have a lot of games, though. We do enjoy games. Definitely games over puzzles. The next one is screens or no screens. I would love to have no screens, I think, but that's not a reality in our house. We use screens. For school, not so much. I do have one daughter who's using teaching textbooks right now, so she uses a screen every day for math. Otherwise, we'll use a screen for looking up words, like dictionary. We'll use my phone. We'll just grab and find out what the word means. All of my kids have learned how to use a dictionary, but the reality is, in the times that we live in, it is just more convenient to pull out a phone and get a definition. So we use dictionary.com or something like that, you know. So that is something we use screens for in our home. And we also, once in a while, will look up some video. If we're reading something and we just want to get a better idea of what something looks like, then we will, again, pull out my phone and we'll look it up. Or if they want to draw something and they can't think of really what it looks like, if they want an example, again, we'll pull out the phone and we'll look it up. So we use it for reference, definitely, and then we use it for math. So that's where screens come into play in our house. And then outside of school, we do watch movies and shows here and there, and the kids like to play video games. So they have a time limit. I don't just let them have at it, but screens are used in our home and in our homeschool, but with certain parameters. The next one is pajamas all day or get dressed. I love wearing pajamas. However, I have learned over the years, I feel better when I get dressed each day. When I get dressed, when I take some time to take care of myself and wear clean clothes, take a shower, do my hair and makeup. I don't always do my makeup, but when I get myself ready, I just feel better. It makes me feel more ready to face the day. So I do get dressed. My kids, I have them get dressed also because I feel like, again, I don't know. I just don't feel like staying in pajamas all the time is good. It just makes you feel not as put together, not as ready to get up and get going. So in our house, we get dressed. There are days where we'll stay in pajamas all day, but it's more often than not, we will get dressed for the day. Read aloud or independent reading. Both. In our home, we definitely love read alouds, and we read aloud all the time. But I also have my kids read independently once they are able to. So we'll do a mix of both in our home. Classic or modern literature. This is also a both. I can't pick one over the other because we do both. Maybe we do lean a little more towards more modern literature, but we definitely pull from classic literature. So I can't pick an either or on that. We definitely we do both. Science or history. I have a degree in science. However, as a homeschool mom over the past 11 years now, I love history. I have learned to love history. I guess I liked history when I was younger, but I just don't remember really. I didn't learn history in the same way when I was in school as my kids have in our homeschool, and I have really enjoyed learning history with them. So I love history. I still love science too, but if I had to pick just one, I'm going to say history. Art or music? Art. If I have to pick one, it's going to be art because I love graphic design. Again, I have a little planner company that I run, and I design planners. I love art. I love drawing. I love painting. I love designing. I'm definitely an artistic person, and so are my kids. They love art. We enjoy music too, but we don't play as much music. We like listening to it more. We've dabbled in playing some instruments like guitar or piano. My son has this little instrument he picked up. I think it's called like a kalimba or something like that, which is still a favorite around the house, but we don't technically know how to play it. We just play it for fun, and hopefully it sounds good. So definitely art over music, but we like both. Nature study or poetry tea time. We've never done a poetry tea time in our homeschool. That's just, that's something that kind of became more popular after I started homeschooling. We definitely read poems in our homeschool. We read poems, we read poetry, we recite poetry, we love poetry. My kids write poetry. It's definitely a big part of our homeschool, but we don't do a poetry tea time. We don't take a specific amount of time and we do this setup with tea and treats and stuff. We just don't do that. It's just kind of woven into our day, every day, always. So poetry is there, but not poetry tea time. So I'd have to say nature study. We love going out in nature. We actually have a homeschool group this year that I'm leading up, that we go out in nature once a month. We go and we take a nature walk, a hike somewhere beautiful. We live in a really gorgeous area in North Carolina, so it's really nice to get out in nature and just, I don't know, breathe the fresh air and enjoy the song of the birds and just take in all the beautiful surroundings around us. Except maybe in winter, then it's cold, so we'll probably stay in more. But it's still good. We love getting out in nature. Lunch with your kids or lunch alone? Lunch alone. Usually around lunchtime is when I just need a little breather. I appreciate having lunch kind of to myself so that I can kind of take that moment to refresh my brain. So I have just that little break to keep going for the rest of the day. For lunchtime, I enjoy that little bit of quiet when I eat by myself. School at the table or school all over the house? Definitely school all over the house. We school all over the house for sure. We still do some school at the table, but we take it to the various tables around our house. Either it's the coffee table in the living room or the table in the dining room, or my kids all have clipboards, and they'll put their work on their clipboards sometimes so they can just take it wherever. So yeah, we school all over the house. And next is take summers off or school year-round. We take summers off. We've always taken summers off because I do have a blended family, and I've always had at least one of my older kids from a previous relationship in public school. So we'll usually have some, and even besides that, even if they were all homeschooled, which they all have been at different times, we follow the school calendar just to be able to set out our schedule as far as the kids going to their dad's house or being at my house. It just makes it easier. So we have never really explored the option of year-round schooling because of that. Even still, I think we like having that break in the summer. It's nice to have that set long break that we can all just relax and not worry about school for a while. Okay, so the last one is mummify a chicken or dissect a frog. I don't want to do either of those, honestly. That's I've done plenty of dissecting when I went to college. I don't think we did as much when I was in high school. We did some, but I don't like it. I have kids that are sensitive about animals. They like animals. I shouldn't say sensitive. I have kids that really like animals, so I don't really want to dissect anything, and I really don't know how we would go about mummifying a chicken. So that's a no to either one. I pick nothing. I pick nothing on that one. So that is all of the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed my this or that video. I do plan on making some more videos very soon to add to my channel. If you have any suggestions for content that you would like to see from me, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I will link to the playlist for the Homeschool Show and Tell down in the description. Thank you, Abby and Jessica, for sharing this and starting this Homeschool Show and Tell. It's fun. I like watching the other videos, and I was happy to do this one. So I look forward to taking part in more of these as the year goes on and adding more content to my channel. If you guys have anything in particular you'd like to see from me, put it in the comments down below and I'll see if I can make a video of it. I do have some more videos coming up soon. I'll be sharing how I organize my girls' curriculum, my 5th grader and my 7th grader, and I'll show you guys all of our book setup and binders and all of that, and how we set up for Heart of Dakota in particular. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video.